Welcome back to another Daily Truth. Whatever time you're watching, it's the best time to get in the space and the place of Jesus Christ. How are you doing? I'm doing amazing. I can't complain. I woke up this morning and I'm going to bed tonight, so I cannot complain. Those are those small blessings that you have to pay attention to, because we get so focused on those big, monetary, physical things we could touch, but the real true blessings are the ones that you kind of just don't really recognize throughout the day. So we're gonna get right into the video. I'm gonna get you your verse right now. It's Colossians 3 verse 23 through 24. Great topic today. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart. It's working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. I want to speak on a topic of, I sound like Pastor Jerry Flowers. I want to speak on a topic of the things that you gain outside of God's will. You have to stay outside of his will to gain those things. And without sharing too much about me anymore, that's not something you want to play with, and you have to truly get into prayer when you're asking for certain things. Right, and when you're expecting that reward that was talked about in that scripture, to expect anything is to. I feel like when I expect things from people, I kind of get let down. But when I expect things from God, I'm never let down. It's actually better than I expected. But I don't have that. It's like small thinking. Like I ask for this small thing, not knowing God has this for me, right? That's as big as my fingers can go. I ask for this, and that may be the smallest little thing to God, because he has so much more for you. You ask for so little. But to play with the fact that you have to stay outside of God's will to keep that thing, that person, that job that you have right now. And that's why you don't feel the presence of God, because you're outside of his will. And it's not saying that God isn't there. You just can't feel it because you're outside of what he has for you. How do you get there? How do you get outside of what God has for you? Because I've been there. And it's tough to navigate who you are, right? Because if you're outside of God's will, you're outside of yourself too. So being outside of yourself makes you question who you are, question things you do, question your moves, which internally has you questioning God. It's like, it's cool to have questions, but to question him is insane. Right? We're all human. We all want to know. We all want to know certain things, and it's okay to go to God, in prayer, in question, but to question his moves, I can't do that. Right? But how you may be outside of God's will is because I would say it's your heart posture. Right? We always hear about heart posture. And I think about posture in general, like, is your back bent too much? Right? Or are you slouching? Right? To know your heart posture is important. And the best way to check yourself when you find yourself, wanting to go outside of God's will to gain some things that you feel as though, I'll just go back to, God will forgive me, playing with that grace thing. He'll forgive me. He'll understand. He knows my heart. Yeah, but you don't. Heart posture, right? It's not worth losing everything that you've gained thus far. And I get it, bro. I have days where it's day one, and the next day it's day one again, and the next day it's day one again. It's like I had to stop putting so many labels and so much time on things that didn't need labels and times. It just needed my faith. It needed my works. It needed my perseverance. It needed my understanding. It needed my focus. It's so crazy how I'm able to speak like this, y'all. I'm sorry. It's how God just speaks to me. Like I wish some days I wish I had notes because I'll be rambling. It's like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I do know what I'm talking about. You know, God's speaking through me. But yeah, man, I don't know who this message is for. I don't know who this video is for, man. But the things that you begin to gain outside of God's will drain you, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And you ask yourself, like, why did God allow those things to do so? And personally, I just see it as a growth point, and that's what I think God may see it as for you. It's a growing point. So, right, He wants to see He wants to see your moves. He wants to see what you're gonna do when your back's against the wall. Right? He didn't put your back against the wall, but He does see it as a great lesson. What will my child do when no one is believing in them? You know, what will my child do when they feel as though love failed them? You know, what will my child do when they don't feel my presence anymore? Will they seek my presence in other things and other people, or will they seek me, who has the presence of all? So why did God allow these things to happen? Think on it a little bit. I think on mine so much. I don't say so much, but when I have time to think like that, and like, you know, why am I in a situation? I think it's the power of choice. Right? You have the power of choice, the gift of choice. God's giving you that freedom, you know, to make your own choices. And I always say, like, it's a scripture. I think I talked on the other day or recently, just like, you have the power to do anything, but not everything is good. Right? So sometimes it's our own choices that get us in these situations. Right? But it's your faith that allows you to get out of it. It's your perseverance that allows you to get out of it. You're willing to learn from your mistake. And to not beat yourself up. At the end of the day, man, you're a human being. It's not making an excuse for what you did. It's not making an excuse for what you said, but it is showing you that, hey, I only get 24 hours. You know, it's that daily bread. You get 24 hours to not get it right, but to understand who you are. Right? So don't be so hard on yourself. I know these topics can be kind of heavy sometimes when it comes to just, you know, your walk in faith and everything. But take it from me, man. It's it's an everyday thing. And no one told me that when I first began to walk with God. Oh, this is an everyday thing. You got to pick up your cross every single day. You got to do this every single day. It's like, I did not know that. I thought it was a one day, boom. And then everything else just falls into place. No, bro. But I'm not saying this journey is like not worth going on, not worth going down, up. It's definitely worth it, but it opens your heart. It exposes things that you never thought needed to be exposed. You never wanted to be exposed. You'll lose a lot. You will lose a lot, but you'll also gain a lot, right? You'll gain everything that you are needing. Some of your wants will be fulfilled if that's in God's will for you. Back to what we're talking about. Whatever you gain outside of God's will, you gotta stay outside of God's will to keep it happy, to keep yourself happy, to keep yourself satisfied. So, to end this video, I want to ask you a question. Are you outside of God's will for your life right now? So comment will and answer that question. WILL, and answer the question for me. Have a blessed day. Make sure you like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for being so consistent with me, tuning in every morning I post. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a blessed night, blessed morning, and I will see you again on another Daily Truth.